Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I am Dewey Bear, and today I'm joined, as always, by the lovely Rhodey Pie.
Hello.
In a fantastic shade of red. I was just, before the show was talking, it's just like the Lincoln Rose. If any American horticulturalists will know what that rose is. Anyhow. But yeah, looking very red. And you know him, you love him. Adam Bomb, a.k.a. Topgunbunny, a.k.a. the ruler of the North, a.k.a. our friend in Nova Scotia.
You can also find me on Dewey's American Horticulture stream.
Yes. I am actually super into gardening, so that was when I was a kid. There was this guy, George Hume, and Barry Sisko. They were two like master gardeners, which I guess master gardeners are like a legit like thing you can earn. There's like organizations and stuff, and in Washington, those two guys were super famous. They were on billboards, and like when you bought soil, their faces would be on it. I got to call in one time and a question about canna lilies, and Cisco gave me an answer how to like what nutrient balance to do if I was seeing like yellowing leaves or whatever. This is a super boring topic. I'm sorry, but anyhow, Cisco was just like, oh, and it was the coolest. It was such the highlight of that year. It was getting to talk to Cisco on the radio,
and that was the coolest thing that ever happened
to me. almost, yeah. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm still super into gardening, but I just have a balcony, and basically the only thing I've succeeded in growing here is basil. Like I've got so much basil, but at least it's useful, you know. I can always eat basil. Okay. Yeah, I guess next up is what we've been playing this week. So let's just hop right into that. And since you've been with us, Topgunbunny, what have you been up to?
Well, I think it's been like a month or so that I've been missing. Probably. Yeah, I would say. I recently got into Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh.
And I've never played, not Grand Theft Auto 5 like the campaign, but I'm playing it online. Like GTA Online. I've never played it before. I got it last year when it was like free on Epic Games or something, and logged in and got killed by a bunch of people over and over and over again and said, screw this, I hate this. This sucks. But recently it went on sale again, and a couple of my friends and my wife bought it, and we've all been playing together. So I've actually been like staying up till 2 a.m. when I have to work the next day, like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 like it's the best, like it's the next sliced bread. So I recognize that it's like 8 years old and everyone's over it, but
yeah,
that is the best thing when you get into a game and you're just so focused on it and like nothing else matters kind of thing, and it just like occupies your entire thing. That's the kind of thing you hope from whenever you pick up a game, that you just so involved in it. And
like I'm laying down in bed at the end of the day and I turn over to my wife and I'm like, you think I could get my bunker set up tomorrow so that we can start doing jobs in there? This has been all-encompassing, complete life takeover.
It's reminding me of that meme where like the lady's looking at her sleeping husband, was like, "What is he thinking about?" And it was his hair head bubble. It's just like
the map said I had a yacht, but I can't find the yacht.
It's literally that meme. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was like trying to rush to get a heist done. My wife was here on her computer next to me, and we were like, "We gotta get this done. I gotta get on a stream with Dewey in a second. Try to finish this bank robbery."
Grand Theft Auto 5 has been shockingly successful. Well, okay, their whole series has been very successful, but Grand Theft Auto 5, it just keeps breathing life into it. And I think one of the smartest things they did recently was making that roleplay server.
Yeah, so that was originally why I picked it up again, not to roleplay, but because a friend of mine bought it, and she's really into watching the Pixel server Twitch streams. So I was like, yeah, no, I'll play Grand Theft Auto 5. I own that. That's something we can play together. And I haven't really watched. I watched the stream for a short little while, but it was super, super interesting. Like they're giving you all the tools to make a really good roleplay experience. So, I mean, if there was a public server for that, which I think there might be, or if you had an invite to the server that all those streamers are on, like I bet it would be really exciting.
There's I know there was a cop that played Grand Theft Auto and he role plays playing a cop, and he just rolls up and says, "All right, so yeah, we've got a 1049er here. Let's just like bring him in for questioning." And he does everything, and he's just very entertaining to watch. Really good.
They have court cases on there. None of the cops are NPCs. All the cops are played by people. They have like 200 or 250 or something players playing on the server at a time. So like it's crazy. Like you go to the hospital. Like when you die in the game, you just drop down to the ground and you have to fake dead, and someone has to call 911, and then a physical player drives an ambulance to your location, picks you up, and brings you to the hospital. And then they put you on a bed and like pretend to like type things into their computer and like make a chart for them and everything. I was like, this is crazy, but it's a really good roleplay experience if that's what you're looking for.
And it's so funny because like it's sometimes people playing like jobs they kind of imagine, they wonder what it would be like. While others it's like people who are playing their real jobs.
That's like, I bet some of the people playing doctors in the hospital in Grand Theft Auto are also doctors in real life. Right?
Crazy.
So if bad news, you've got a terrible hernia, we're gonna need to do surgery, put in some mesh, and so you're gonna need to take these pills for 3 months.
Yeah, it's really intense. Like if you actually want to kill off your character or start a new character, you have to role play the death of your character, like, and then never log on again.
Wow,
they're dead at that point. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. But every single time I mentioned Grand Theft Auto to somebody, they mentioned this Pixel server to me. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is something that must be very popular.
Yeah. So you're also playing through the campaign then as well.
I'm not touching the campaign.
Oh, okay.
I played that like when it came out, like a long time ago. So I'm just playing Grand Theft Auto Online, not really Googling much. Like I'm just like popping in. There's a million things to do, and all of this DLC that's come out over the last like 8 or 9 years. So I get a lot of stuff for free in the game, but I also have nothing. So like I own a bunker, but I don't know what to do with it because I've never played the game before. So
yeah, they have plans for Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, they have plans for Grand Theft Auto 6, but like I think a lot of the companies like, yeah, we're gonna keep 5 up because they were thinking about closing down 5, and they're like, oh, look at your balance sheet, dude, and it's just like, oh, we've got to keep the Grand Theft Auto Online up forever.
Like I've never bought anything in the game, but you can buy money with real life money. So I mean, imagine they're making their dollars somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, Rhodey, what about you? What have you been playing?
Roll the animation.
Oh, that's right. This one. Gaming all day, gaming all night. That's right.
Yes.
This is the one I'm most likely to forget because I'm just getting started. Also, I got prescribed a massive vitamin D pill, and it is just hitting me now.
So I picked up and played the beginning of at least of The Room 4 Old Sins.
Oh.
So I've only just started it. I played through the tutorial and started the main bit, and so basically you're an investigator from the school of, or the not the school, it's probably the scientific body who knows about what's kind of been going on. And you're investigating the disappearance of a couple, and one of them was an ousted scientist. And you're going to their home. You're searching in the attic, and you find this doll's house, and it is full of weirdness that you usually get in the Other Room series. But yeah, it's got the same sort of kind of mechanics, puzzles, and like that kind of nice graphical style that you come to get used to and see. And And yeah, it's so far, obviously, because it's only the start of it, it's been quite easy. Although I would say some of the movements are a bit crunchy. Like I was like flipping through a book and I wanted to double check something in like a newspaper clipping, and I tried to turn the page back and it wouldn't let me do that. And it wouldn't like let me open the book again either, and then I closed it and it's just like, what the hell? What the hell is this bullshit? So yeah, there were some like certain crunchy moments in it that really are annoying, but that's how it is. But yeah, still very enjoyable, still loving it. But yeah, that's really all I've been playing. I need to finish Heartbeat. And I was thinking about jumping back into Staxel, but it was just like, it felt like a chore going back into it. It's just like, oh. Yeah. Because that's the thing, it's such a mediocre game. And there's like so many things that are like kind of, I don't like about it as well. It's mediocre, I don't like about it. So it just feels like a chore going back into it. And yeah, so.
I think you mentioned you weren't so into the aesthetic, but I feel like almost jumping into my time at Porsche would be a more pleasurable use of time.
See, I played that when it like before it was released. It was in general release. I played the beta and I got quite far in it as well. So I've practically nearly played through the whole of the story in that. But that was super enjoyable, very addictive, you know, to play. And so they really need to find with Staxel what makes those kind of games addictive, what makes you want to come back in and play it over and over. And it's like what they're presenting, isn't it? I can't remember, but did you play Staxel, Adam? Did you ever pick that up? I feel like maybe you played it for 6 minutes.
Oh, that's super familiar.
Staxel. It is this sort of like pixel art. I mean, not pixel art, but
like Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft look.
It is in my Steam library. I feel like I did, but if I did, it was like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember this. I don't recall like all of these costumes and everything in the video here, but
yeah. There was the main issue that we had, of course, last time we talked about it was just the lack of, the tutorial's not adequate. It's not very helpful.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, what am I doing exactly? Is this is this Minecraft? Is this Harvest Moon? Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think much of the player base is more tied into the Discord or whatever, and so they can just ask questions or what. But that's not. Right, yeah. Then you have to insert yourself to a community and. Not. You're already part of enough Discords.
Yeah, the thing is, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be different people jumping in and asking the exact same questions. It's like, how do I do this? Oh, well, maybe you check this out, or maybe check this tutorial out on YouTube or something. Or I did a tutorial on what to do on YouTube. Why don't you check that out? And it's like, that's not what people want to do. They just want to jump into a game, pick up and play it, you know. It's just, I don't want to go into some Discord and ask people, say, what am I supposed to be doing exactly? That should be intuitive and automatic in your game. You're supposed to present it in a way that people can easily pick it up, and it's intuitive. So yeah.
That should be when you're really far in the game and there's like particular secrets or certain items, and then you jump into the Discord like, okay, how do I get this? And that's going to be a question that only pops out occasionally. It's like, wait, how do I do this quest?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But what? So also, anyone that's joined us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Of course, tell us what games that you've liked this week in the comments.
Absolutely, yeah. What have you been playing? Let us know.
Yeah. What have you been playing these last couple of weeks?
Yeah. Well, I went on a trip, but when I come back, I of course have been playing some Final Fantasy XIV. But when I hooked up with my brother, and besides all the talking about, because my brother's going to be moving in with me soon, so we've been doing a lot of that arrangement, but we decided to jump into Heroes of Hammerwatch, which of course is not new to me, but is new to my brother. So it's been very fun. Like, we jumped in and we played, like, I think 6 rounds in an evening, and we got to the 3rd floor. And we have been having so much fun. But yeah. Oh, and Godless Weeb, haven't played much recently, but played City of Heroes, Final Fantasy 14 and 12.
City of Heroes, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Blast from the past, yeah. But Final Fantasy 12 is a game I need to get into, because that looks so good, so beautiful. And a lot of stuff from Final Fantasy 14 comes from Final Fantasy 12. But, yep. But yeah.
You made a magical girl in City of Heroes with a gun.
That's awesome. But yeah, that's a good game. I do vaguely remember playing it, but it was a long time ago.
Long time ago. I'm trying to look it up now.
I did like jump into it, but I didn't stick around. I made like a fast runner type person.
Yeah, the customization in that game was just ridiculous for the time.
Yeah.
It still is really good. Most MMOs don't let you customize your character that much. So.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the customization, but then getting into the game, it was just like, nah, I'm not really into this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one got shut down by NCSoft. It was still profitable at the time, but NCSoft is kind of a graveyard of games, at least historically. Not so much nowadays, but that was kind of the last major one they canceled. But there were private servers that were in existence secretly and recently became public. But now it's a scenario where I believe they have trouble taking it down, because now it's just been it's been an unused property for such a long period of time. And there were all these existing servers that they didn't take care of. So it's basically they're and the code was shared publicly, and so now just a ton of people have it. So it's not particularly legal servers, but it's basically impossible for NCSoft to get rid of them. So that's kind of the
nice.
That's kind of the situation. So a lot of people who love the games aren't able to play it again. So yep. But yeah. Alrighty. But yeah, so it's basically, for me, it was just Heroes of Hammer Watch, and that was my just being able to play with my brother and see how he adapted to it. He had a blast, and we're probably going to be playing it more, so I'm getting pulled back to this. When I do play a new game, though, I am definitely going to be playing a short hike.
Yes.
This is my plan. I'm going to play a short hike. It is.
I played it. Yeah, I did that one. That's a good one.
It's apparently it could just be an hour. I'm probably going to explore more. But it's pretty show, yeah.
Very short, but it was worth it.
If you only are doing the hiking bit, then yes, it's short. But there's so many little secrets and little things that you can do that you make your time last there a lot longer if you want to be kind of like a completionist. So yeah.
I played it for 67 minutes and said that's great. And I have 3 of 8 achievements.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. It's got a fantastic aesthetic, and yeah, I've pretty much decided this is the next game I'm going to play.
So that one kind of reminds me of another one that I've been playing or played in April called Alba: A Wildlife Adventure.
Yes.
Oh yes, I played that.
It's like a bird watching, kind of like a bird watching game. It kind of gives me the same vibe as the short hike. But with Alba, I did get 3 hours out of this one. So
you're not the only person I know who's made that comparison between these two games. Actually, there's a YouTuber who was talking about he really liked a short hike in Alba. He was talking about how some really big games feel really small because they're just empty or whatever, and then some really small games feel so large, and that's like Alba and a short hike where you explore the world.
You walk around fairly slowly, and the world is I mean, you only get a few hours out of it, but it was a really good experience. I like this one.
There's so much packed into it. I feel you're rescuing all this wildlife, and you're trying to stop a big conglomerate taking over, building a hotel on the island. So you've got to convince the islanders to sign a petition You know, because some of them are like, well, you know, to bring in tourists and that could be really good for the island to revitalize it. And it's like, no, we can do it ourselves. You know, we just got to, you know, like make the island nice and bring back, show the islanders and everybody what sort of wildlife there is to see on here, because it's a wide variety. So yeah, it's fantastic.
And yeah, Godless, we were of course mentioning that we need more games that are only like one neighborhood or city. I do miss that a lot, where you could just get to really intimately know an area of the game. And I've played some games where it's just like, you know, so one small area, like maybe 1 square kilometer, but every house has people attached to it and storylines to go through. Every single house, every single character, everything is there for a reason. And because of that, you feel you can play in there for hours and like still feel like, oh, I still haven't seen everything. Yeah,
I got that sense with a lot of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, not the Pro Skater ones, but when they started doing like Underground, and I can't remember any of the names of these games now, but the ones after Pro Skater, when you actually get to explore the city. That's how I felt with those, because you can't really travel around that quickly, like only just to be on your skateboard. But it's usually just a city or a couple neighborhoods, and I really got the sense that the same kind of sense as playing this Alba game.
Yeah,
but it was a skateboarding game. But I mean, I agree.
Yeah, there's a place for kind of smaller scale games, and that's just like so cozy feeling when it's like I can fully explore this entire area. And I'm not just running through emptiness. So, yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing A Short Hike, and I'll probably check out Alba shortly after that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I have a shared library with someone, and they have it. So just by fluke that I decided to play it, I guess. I was waiting for the new Pokemon Snap game to come out. Actually, I think now that I remember it. Yeah. Speaking of the new Pokemon Snap game, loved it. It was really great.
Oh, that's good to hear. Nice. I'm glad about that. I know Godless...
not happy to spend $90 on a game, but I mean, it was like Nintendo, Pokemon, whatever. Yeah.
Nintendo, they really know how to milk those wallets.
Yeah, but like compared to the original Pokemon Snap, which I could beat in like 6 to 8 hours or something to completion, this one here gave me like into the 30s or 40s.
Wow.
I still didn't really quite finish it. I finished the story.
Nice.
Yeah.
Expensive, but it was good. It was worth it. As a treat.
Yeah. Then that sounds...
you can spend $90 on a video game as a treat.
Because I think it was Udarangi, a game Udarangi we were talking about before, which was like a Pokemon Snap type game, but more of like this weird set of neon-soaked, low poly art game. And like the chat and us were just talking about like, wow, there really hasn't been much in the way of the sort of photography genre, and then Alba, and now Pokemon Snap comes out with a new game. So I guess the companies knew that there was this gap in the market, and they released it just in time. So yeah. Awesome. Okay, so starting off, we've got to get into a squirt of ketchup and look at the games to catch up this week. So, of course, last week we didn't have a show, and way too many games got released. Just saying. Way too many games. So those games are going at the end of our catch-up list, so we'll get to them eventually. So if they were... I'm really sorry to the developers that had the small developers who had games out last week, but... I'll talk about them eventually. We will. we are gradually getting through that list. But for now, we're catching up for games released between August 27th and August 30th. All these games are actually released on August 27th, from what I can tell. But starting with the game Struggling.
Struggling is a physics-based co-op platformer with a twisted spin on teamwork. Control the arms of a squishy abomination and lead it through a deranged world.
So squishy.
This reminds me of that... Oh, what's that game where it's multiplayer and you have like all the characters?
Yeah, I know.
That does not narrow it down. The multiplayer game with all the characters.
Yeah, this is bad. Like,
I know which one you mean. It's not Swing Together or something like that.
Yeah. No, it's not Getting Over It. That's different.
Does kind of look like Getting Over It.
Oh,
Or Earthworm Jim, maybe?
no. No. It's just like these... so you basically play all these, like, guys with noodle arms. It's in my library. But yeah, so that it works much like this, except it's multiplayer, whereas this seems to be single player. Oh, there's split screen co-op on this game, but yeah. So you just gotta struggle to get over everything. What a hideous avatar. But yeah. So
I like about this game, it's struggling as a physics-based co-op platformer with a twisted spin-on teamwork, control the arms of a squishy abomination, and guide it through a deranged world where anything goes. Outrun ravenous rats, joyride a dirt bike, and vault over pools of unmentionable waste. One thing's certain, you will struggle.
Am I to understand that, like, if you play this in 2 players, you each control one arm?
That's...
No.
see, grab a friend.
Yes. Grab a partner and work together by controlling one arm each. When one takes a combined effort, communication is key to keeping your cool.
That might make it fun, honestly.
Yeah, it might. It could also result in divorce.
Yeah.
But yeah, that might make it fun. This is one of those, co-op games. So I guess when you're playing it by yourself, you just have, like, you're just using the 2 joysticks. Because it does have a single player. Let me see. Yeah. So each, you can, when you're playing single player, it's you have to control both arms. But my word.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That seems really difficult, but quite fun.
Overall, it's standing out very positive with 93% with 222 users. However, recent reviews, it's standing at 63% positive with 11 users. So that's like, I wonder why such.
Yeah, I'm. Let me see. What are the mixed group? So it's more
like
mixed recently.
Bad controls. Yeah.
That's odd. So because it was in early access for quite a while, and then for it to come out and just get negative reviews, I don't know. It's kind of strange. But okay. I guess some folks would just decide to jump in and is like, nope, this is not my type of game. Because I was looking at the negative reviews and I was like, there's nothing here that's just broken.
Yeah.
So these developers, they are working on a new project called Worship, which basically you serve a dreadful god and lead its cult. So they've got this new game that they're working on, which I think is quite cool. So looking forward to that. I'm glad that they have a second game in the works. So yeah.
Nice.
And that is struggling.
It is $11.99.
Yep.
$14.99 Can get the soundtrack
USD.
for $7.99.
Yeah. Well, it better be a good soundtrack, I guess. All right. Next up is Witcheye.
Set off on an adventure as a mild-mannered witch who transforms into a flying eyeball of vengeance after a smarmy knight and wizard steal her spell ingredients. That swarmy knight.
Okay, so you actually play as the eyeball for most of the game. How interesting.
Oh my goodness.
So
your character is the eyeball.
Yeah. A witch that turns into an eyeball.
Well, that's very creative. And I like the pixel art. I feel like this one's been recommended to me a lot. Not by people, but by Steam. Steam is like, oh, you've played games like this. You would like this game. So I've been getting that a lot. It is an interesting take on platform. It's not really platforming. You're flying around. So
yeah,
it's not really platforming, but it has this sort of aesthetic. It's got platforms in it, and you bounce around. So maybe it is platforming. I just don't know how to describe it. But you're flying around.
maybe he can only be the eyeball for a bit. I don't know. No, I'm not sure. Let's see about this game. Set off an adventure as a mild-mannered witch who transforms into a flying eyeball of vengeance after a smarmy night, and wizard steal her spell ingredients. You'll guide her through 50+ levels, each containing something completely unique, tricky new enemies, mysterious new environments, and puzzling new secrets. These elements are brought to life with colourful, clean pixel art and a lively, head-bobbing original soundtrack. Witcheye is a new approach to platforming with a free movement dash through the air. Players are able to stop on a spot, reverse direction, or alter their course at will, bounce into devilish little beasts, snag collectibles, and make it to the goal of each level however possible. Okay. So yeah, you're the eyeball the whole time.
It looks to be a good price though.
Yeah.
And very positive.
$3.99, not bad. Not bad
Yeah,
at all.
that's very affordable. USD $4.99. The game, I liked how the top review, so it's a Russian review, and the first line is, not Shovel Knight, but... It's like, well, how rude. It isn't any Shovel Knight, so clearly this person had a high opinion of Shovel Knight, but he still gave the game a positive review. It's developed by Moonkid, and is currently the only game by Moonkid, but I have to say, I like the aesthetic. Just good, kind of classy pixel art. Just very professional looking. So, good job, Moonkid.
Yeah, it's standing at very positive, with 94% positive, with 59 user reviews, and recently it's at 92% positive with 25 user reviews. So nice.
Right? Going away from kind of humorous to our final catch-up list is Wait! Life is Beautiful.
Wait! Life is Beautiful is an interactive psychological thriller about suicide based on personal experience. This is a story about a void in the soul, about search and loss of the life purpose to trying to save oneself and others. This is a life that can be lived your own way, for any life is beautiful, isn't it?
So this is basically a choices matter game regarding a character who can, like, from what I understand, has some sort of metaphysical connection to souls and such, particularly souls that are in danger, and he's tasked with saving them. So he's got to stop these people from committing an irreversible act. So it's I feel like that I've seen anime that are sort of based on this. I've been reading the reviews, and most folks are saying that it's fairly well and sensitively covered, but the gameplay itself can get fairly tedious, and also it's it's a very hefty game because it's very difficult to insert any sort of like levity into the storyline, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, so it is a pretty somber game.
It's and that's the thing. I appreciate that these kind of games are made, and we can have a conversation about them and everything, and the developers done them very sensitively. But a lot of the time, it's like, do I really want to play a game like this? And the answer is a lot of times for me is no. I want escapism and levity, and I want to have fun. Whereas this is just and you know, the games that I play, if there's like they've put in a serious topic in it, you know, that can be fine, but then I want to go back to the levity and the escapism again. So for me, I tend to not like play these kind of games. And of course, when I've seen, I think you know that Dragon Cancer, and people were saying, you know, it's very well made, but it's not a game that I want to pick up or something. You know, I can watch someone play it or something, but I don't want to play, you know, purchase it and play it myself, because it's, you know, I don't want to be invested kind of when you're, you know what I mean? It's like when you play something for yourself, it's like you're taking control, you're being that person, you're being that avatar, and you get so invested. And so when something horrible happens, or it's like, oh, that was such a downer. So yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
But what I don't know if is that how you feel, Dewey? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I'm not particularly. This is one of the reasons why, for example, the new Last of Us, The Last of Us 2, I just didn't get into it just because I sort of understood like what the. I read reviews. I avoided spoilers as much as I could, but I read reviews and can't understand that it's an oppressively dark storyline. It's like, you know what? I liked where the first one ended. I'm just gonna stop there. I'm just gonna stop there because like. I just knew so many people who played it and were just in a horrible mood afterwards. And it's like, it was a great game, but I'm so sad. And it's like, okay, thank you for letting me know.
Like the new Bo Burnham Netflix special that just came out. If you've seen that yet, it's just like I don't remember anything funny about it.
Yeah.
But do you, Adam? Do you play these kind of games, or
my mood kind of swings in and out of liking these games. I think I would play a game like this, but the gameplay specifically of this one doesn't really seem that it would be that interesting to me.
Yeah, it's mostly text trees. There is the story isn't just on the bridge though. So you have these various characters, and you have to like figure out what the correct wordplay is. It really depends on whether they have a proper rewind feature or not, or if they have a proper like way to come back and replay it. But there's also a situation where you have like a kind of a cult that's like more, or not really a cult, but like sort of a movement about the right to die sort of thing, which is something we see in some European countries. And then there's also this additional thing, because your character always knows when someone's going to commit suicide, and they're always there. The police, of course, are now suspicious of you. So there's this additional other side story where like your character is now suspicious because they seem to be at the location when something like this happens, over and over. If assuming, of course, they're not able to succeed, and of course, there's a psychological toll on the character you're playing, and gradually you start to see hallucinations and such. So there's multi layers to this, but at the same time, the fact that I could learn all this from reading about it. I feel like there needs to, of course, to be a content warning, but some of this is like, okay, I would have probably liked to have figured this stuff out as I went to peel away the layers. So it just seemed to be there's a lot of layers to this game, but
yeah, I mean, you want to ruin your evening?
Yeah. Did you play that blinking game?
No, I didn't.
Rhodey, remember that?
I remember
Before Your Eyes.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it's one that you control with your webcam.
Yeah.
With your eyes. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yep. And that one, the thing interesting about that one's also on a very like, it eventually reveals itself to be kind of a very dark basis, a very sad basis, sort of like, that Dragon Cancer kind of thing. A really sad sort of storyline. But because it kind of lulls you into a fake sense of security, you don't feel this sort of sadness to the whole thing. There's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of funniness, and then finally you get to the end and it's just like I can never look at an agave plant without getting a little teary-eyed.
Oh my god.
So, I feel like this one's reminding me a lot of, and that reminds me a lot of Emily is Away too. That one, it's like an old MSN Messenger game.
Yeah, I played.
You start off the game and you're just like, you can type whatever you want, and you don't realize that there's implications to what you've said.
Yeah.
Until like later, you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize all of that was going to matter.
I have so many issues because I played the first one and the second one. I have so many issues with those two games. So many issues because they're just like, it's just like, oh come on.
There's no way to win that game.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, if you want a feel bad game, definitely pick this up. You know, I know there's some of you out there that likes those. It is only $3.99, and it is currently standing at 84% positive with 59 user reviews.
Yep, $4.99 USD. All right,
$5.69 Canadian. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's a weird number.
Like, why do you need my 69 cents?
Yeah.
I'll give you an extra 30 cents for this to be $5.99.
Yeah, exactly. It looks wrong. Oh, right. Next up, we are now into the bulk of our show, which is, of course, the release list. And keeping up the cheery demeanor, we're starting off with Monday, May 31st, My Child Lebensborn.
My Child Lebensborn is a story-driven nurture game based on real events. Play as the adoptive parent of Karen or Klaus and experience the struggles they go through along them. I think along the way. Balance your time and resources wisely while helping your child cope with effects of hatred.
Yeah, so this is actually based on a real historical group of children. And so for those who don't want spoilers of the game, just kind of mute the stream until we're done talking about My Children. I'm not going to spoil the whole game, but I am going to spoil the premise, and you might not want to know the premise until you play the game. So the premise is during the Nazi regime in Germany, they had these sort of child farms, basically, where they were producing as many children as possible because they wanted to produce the perfect race. And these children, the Lebensborn, are the result of those. So they were babies during World War II. And of course, after World War II, you have all these kids who many of them were abandoned by their mothers. And their fathers were Nazis. And there was soldiers or something, and they didn't know where to put them. And so many of them got adopted. And a lot of them were living in countries like Poland or Norway or Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, a lot of countries where these children were a sort of a painful symbol to a lot of these former people who were occupied by Germany. And of course, they took out that hatred and that dislike on these children. And so this is sort of a group of children that grew up in a very unpleasant world. And there's been recent recognition of the suffering that they went to. There's a monument in Oslo, I believe, to the Lebensborn. And it's a pretty heavy story, but this one is more about kind of the day-to-day life of adopting and raising these kids and dealing with this kid's emotional baggage.
Wow, that's interesting because I had heard about those kids, but not about the hatred surrounding them and what it meant for people to bring them up and of course what they went through. So wow, interesting.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a really interesting sort of historical take because there's a lot of stuff about like the build up and the events of World War II, but there's not as much about the aftermath. And I always find that the aftermath of the big events, what happened to all these players, and in this case, these are the children that you read about, but I never really knew much about. Okay, what happened to all those kids though? And this one kind of covers at least. Using I've been reading the blog of the developers. These are real events, but it's kind of like a combination of various people, when they did interviews and stuff, it's various different people and their personal events growing up. So that's what this game is based on. But
yeah, you have to do recreational events and seems like you've got like a choice of things that you can do, and you've only got like a certain amount of time each day, and I suppose it takes away.
It's almost like a Tamagotchi.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is only £5.79, and it's got an overall it is 90% positive with 81 user reviews, and recently it's 85% positive with 49 user reviews. So yeah. If I've enjoyed this.
I'm kind of interested in this. We have a somewhat similar kind of thing going on in Canada right now in the news with the survivors of the residential school system, or not survivors of the residential school system. So stuff like this would be really interesting to look at.
Yeah, I would like to, because I didn't know anything about the whole of, we don't learn much about Canadian, like, Aboriginal relations in the U.S.
No, and I mean, to be fair, Canadians didn't learn about it either.
Yeah.
Like, it was very much swept under the rug.
Yeah, and so the recent news around that, which, even heavier topic than what we're talking about here. But yeah, so sorry to bring it down, but it's a really unfortunate thing. But I do encourage folks to read up on it. It's especially if you're Canadian, to have some knowledge.
Yeah, especially if you're Canadian. I think everybody. It's really funny because like a lot of the responses to this have been, "Oh my God, we didn't know! I can't believe that!" And I'm like I'm 29 years old. I feel like I've known for a long time. Like my generation knew that this happened. Like we were told this at some point. Like everybody knew. So like to see the responses to the news be like, "Oh my God, such a terrible thing happened in Canada. We never knew." Like I've known. I feel bad I didn't react the same way, but like I've known for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've personally taken care of patients who have been survivors of residential school systems in the hospital. So like I've met them. Like I know that this story exists. So, and just if anyone's watching, what we're talking about is, you be able to look up more about it. I'm obviously not a good point of contact to explain this to anyone, but there was a mass grave of 215 children found in Canada that was dug up that were students from a residential school. I think. From this, they closed down in like the 60s. Like this is a very recent event for Canadian history. So.
Yeah, it's a fairly recent event. And it's and that's, I mean, granted, none of us were alive when this stuff was happening, but there's plenty of people alive who do remember this stuff happening.
Yeah, like I felt like I knew, like this wasn't news, but at the same time, like it's good that it's kind of surfacing.
It's kind of a moment, just like in the U.S. with the whole like Tulsa Black Wall Street massacre that occurred way back in.
It was 100 years ago.
Yeah, it was 100 years ago. Yeah. I knew vaguely, but it's like you get a paragraph in like your history book kind of thing, and it's like, oh, that happened, and it was kind of in a list of a bunch of stuff that happened, and you don't really get the whole scope, and then. Eventually it becomes a topic, like an anniversary comes up, or they find new evidence, or they find new results, uncover a gravesite, etc. That kind of makes it a lot more real, and suddenly there's more of a cultural awakening. It's like, ooh, that's part of this place's history. Because I knew people who grew up in Tulsa, and they knew about it, but it wasn't real. It was never made real. Yeah. But yep. So yeah,
games like this, I'm gonna add this into my wish list. Games like this, I think, are important.
Yeah, there's another game, a Korean game about Jeju-do, which that game quite changed my even outlook on like the whole history of the Korean War and such. And I had no idea about it, and that's only starting to be acknowledged by the Korean government in the 90s. So it was just really interesting. These historical games, a lot of people are like, they associate gaming with fun, and it doesn't always have to be that. And because games are art, and there's a lot of art of really sad circumstances.
Yeah.
I mean, Picasso has entire abstract paintings that are all about like the Spanish Civil War or the victims of Franco. So yeah, it's an interest. It's something that I think a mature medium of art can cover that, and I think gaming is now in that area. It's just that
it's getting there. Yeah.
Not all
artists
in the gaming field have the skill at doing it. So
yeah, true.
Okay, so Tuesday, June 1st. Oh, and of course, my child Lebensborn is $7.99 USD. And it has 90% positive.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you did.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Got so process. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Tuesday, June 1st, Noir Punk.
2D side-scrolling adventure narrative game with puzzle-solving and platforming elements.
Well, it's funny. I normally am like, no, you gotta have color. Like, if it's black and white, it's just like, oh, you're just kind of being lazy. But then you put the word noir on it, and it's like,
Like,
okay,
it's
nice day.
supposed to
Yeah. Okay. I get you. It's now aesthetic.
Yeah, I get it.
And I just accept it. Okay. it's noir. It's supposed to be this way. But this is
There's no reviews yet.
Yes, no reviews yet. Oh well, it's got 6 user reviews, but but it's developed by from what I could tell, a solo dev from Milpitas, California, and so he called his studio Milpidians, which I think is quite funny. But it's this really, I like the aesthetic. It's very cute. And it's all about this sort of, noir mystery with some stealth elements and getting away from the mafia, a little bit of platforming. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, kind of sprinkled into a free-to-play game.
I like the way it looks, but the mechanics of it aren't really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I think it's cool the way it's been done, and it's free, and all the reviews that I can see, they're all positive. Those 6 reviews, or 5 of them anyway, that I can see.
Yeah, looks like it's about half an hour long, 45 minutes. So it's not a big game. So if you want to check out this developer's, I believe it's their first title. No, it's not. This developer also made Get Out, Badminton Warrior. Get Out and Badminton Warrior. Milpitians. Yep. So that is Noir Punk. Any thoughts?
Just like it looks quite nice, but yeah, again, the mechanics. What about you, Adam Bomb? Any?
I'll download anything that's free.
Yeah,
So
download free.
Okay.
All right, you'll know what it's like in about half an hour. So next up, Operation Tango.
It takes 2 to save the world in this cooperative spy adventure. Pair it with friends as agents or hacker with only your voices to connect you, and work together to bring a high-tech global menace to its knees.
So I love I love it when a developer makes a game that specifically you have to play with 2 people. It's not all games should be that way, but it's a neat sort of like, hey, you've got to socialize to play this game. So, sort of like,
Yeah, I do really like this. I don't think I'll be able to play with someone, because I think I would just absolutely lose my cool or something. It's like, no, what have you done? But I do, again, the same as you, I do like the idea that bringing someone else in and it's like, keep talking and no one dies or no one explodes or something. You've got to give very precise, very concise instructions to sort of complete your mission. And of course, they might just completely ignore you and do their own thing.
Yeah. So
I feel like I'm starting to get the sense, with this game in Grand Theft Auto, which I've been playing, with the heists, it's kind of this. Probably a little bit more to this. I feel like the streamers are making it look like more fun than it might be.
Maybe.
But
look at these people having fun.
That's their job, so
that is their job.
It has won. It did win the 2020 Gamescom award, best multiplayer game, and it does stand at 88% positive with 472 user reviews. So that's pretty good.
So it seems the hacker, what I like about their premise is they seem to be really heavily sticking to the movie trope where you're the hacker. You're basically looking up information on different people. You're watching the cameras, so you're tracking where people are in the buildings. Okay, go forward, now stop, go into this room. Like, you figure out everyone's routes, and then you're like, oh, there's the bomb. Which wire do I cut? And you're like, I think doing my research, you have to cut this one or whatever. So there is an element of like keep talking and nobody explodes, but I feel like this one might be a bit lower stress, considering there's probably safe areas you can get to, or like, at least my suspicion is this is probably more of a lower key kind of slower process.
I feel like there may be like a timer on these missions though.
Oh, really?
So you might, because I mean, I see like there is like a time on there, so I don't know. It's like you got to get in by X time or something like that.
Looking through the pictures and the screenshots, I am liking it a bit more. Like, to look at what the hacker is doing, looks interesting. And the artwork is really good. Blue and orange never hurt anybody.
Yeah, blue and orange.
It's very nice.
Yeah, always that combination. I do like how like the portraits. They literally took photographs of people and made them. You can just tell because the ratios are too good. So it's like, they took photographs and then they like stylized them. It's quite cool.
I always try. I keep forgetting the name of the game that I played that had the art like this. I'll find it. You keep talking.
Oh, okay.
But I really like this. Again, I think I would be too stressed myself to play it or to be very good at playing with somebody. I think they would hate me by the end of this. But yeah, it's a very interesting take on like a co-op, online co-op game, and I'm really glad like this is picked up. This has been picked up quite a lot by people. It is £15.49. I'm gonna see how many missions there are, because interesting thing, there is in the multiplayer options, there's is a friend pass. So if you own this game, any of your friends can play with you for free. So
okay.
all they
I was like, are they gonna have to buy this too? Like, if I spend $20 on this, do they have to spend $20 on this?
Yeah, that's the thing. We always say, how come they don't do a bundle? Because if it's like, you need to play with somebody else. Surely putting it in as a bundle would be a much better option. But if your friend can play for free, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
that's great. The game I was thinking of is Orwell.
Yes,
the thing kind of look like Orwell.
Yes.
Oh yes, Orwell. Okay, yeah. I was looking at that, the whole friend pass solution. That's something I hadn't thought about. I knew about the friend pass before, but I was like, just sell it in bundles so they can get 2 or 3. The friend pass, I think, is an even better solution. Of course, that just makes sense. So, that's really cool. So that makes me be even more apt to get this. Because sometimes I have this regular game night, and sometimes some people just can't make it because we're all adults. And so, stuff happens. Recently, one of them had a kid, so they're not really busy. They're super busy now. But being able to play a game one-on-one, that's definitely something attractive. And the fact that only one person has to pay for it, that's awesome. So, Operation Tango. Really pro-consumer of them. This is developed by Clever Plays, which is a studio based out of Montreal, Quebec. They also made Leap of Fate way back in 2016. That was their last game, with a really interesting aesthetic, actually. Ooh, it's an ARPG. How interesting. Very different game. So, yeah.
I'm seeing like 3 hours of gameplay with 6 missions.
Nice. I hope they bring out maybe like a DLC and add more missions to it, because it seems like such an interesting game.
Someone said they got the game free on PlayStation Plus.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
They did say that made the price on Steam even less justifiable.
Oh yeah, with it being $20. Yeah, and if it's only 3 hours, that said, so it's 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours, but it's between 2 people, so it's really 8 hours of gameplay. But still, 20 might be a little bit high unless they end up doing additional missions.
Yeah. Let's
I'm
hope.
not seeing any notes about them doing additional missions in their like blog, which is unfortunate. That
It
would be
might
really
be
cool.
in the discussions page.
True, it might be in discussions. Let me check. But this looks really awesome.
Yeah.
Announcement.
FAQ. Scroll at the top.
Oh,
And FAQ.
FAQ. Oh, FAQ. Da
Yeah.
Bingo for Operation Tango. Is there achievement? How long is the game? So they say 5 hours. 8 hours to play through as both characters.
All DLC planned? Are there more missions or DLC planned? They would love to. So it depends.
Okay.
It depends on
But
how well the game
nothing
does.
committal.
We'd really like to. Depends on how profitable this game
Yeah.
is. So.
And it's been a long time. This can't be a very big studio considering it's been so long since their last game. It's been 6 years since their 5 years. It's been 5 years since their last game. So it must be a pretty small team. Yeah, clever plays.
Yeah, like Radio Tom said $20 feels steep. I agree. Like $20 does feel steep. It does make me feel better that I can play with a friend without them having to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, I would consider probably playing it through twice because you want to play once as the hacker and once as the agent. So that brings it up to 8 hours, and so 16 hours between 2 people, which is closer to 20, but still, maybe knock it down to like $16 or $15.
It's cheaper than couples therapy, so.
It is cheaper than couples therapy. That is true. That is quite true. Also, probably a lot more fun than couples therapy, but perhaps less productive. So yeah, that is Operation Tango. Next game is Stonefly.
Harness the wind and soar through the wilderness of Stonefly, a chill and tranquil action-adventure game about self-discovery, legacy, and belonging. Glide your mech strategically among beautiful flora and dangerous fauna, confronting hungry bugs, adventures, and memorable characters.
Yeah.
Therapy is free if you don't have a partner.
That is quite true, yeah. So this game, I've sort of seen it, because this has been in development for a while, and it's cool to see it finally out. I thought it was quite a striking looking game. I have to say, the soundtrack is very techno music soundtrack. It's got a cool aesthetic, cool idea, like all the humans are small and you have these mechanical bugs. That's quite cool. I thought it was going to be multiplayer, but it is actually a single player game. So,
I think it's very interesting, the way they've done the shading and everything in it. Like textures.
It does kind of look muddy, but at the same time, it gives it kind of like this grit, like you're saying, like the texture, where it does feel different.
It reminds me of Creature in the Well. Remember that game?
Yeah. It looks great. It looks great, and I like, that when you upgrade your mech or whatever, you there are these scenes as well, so it's not just you're just continuously in your mech. There are interactions with other people and everything.
This is Creature in the Well right here, which is heavily reminds me aesthetically of it. Oh, it's developed by Flight School Studio. Oh my gosh, it is the same studio. Okay, that makes sense then. I was like, this looks so much like this other game. It's like, it is the same developers. That makes a lot of sense. Well, and I'm looking now at the other games that Flight School Studios made. Like
They've got a doggy game.
Yeah, they got Chex Quest and Wet Dog, which also have the similar aesthetic, and Manifest, which all have a similar aesthetic to this. So they've got their style that they like. That is awesome. I love it when a studio has that. So
I like this one. I'm going to put it on my wish list, although I don't see myself spending $22 on it.
No.
Yeah, it is $15.49, so maybe wait until there's a sale on. It's seeing around about 6 to 8 hours ish.
Yeah.
I can get that.
But yeah, it's standing at 83% positive with 24 user reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Creature in the Well is currently at 50% off, so the studio is willing to cut it by 50% for their older games. So eventually, I'm sure this game will go on sale if the price right now is too high for you. But yeah, super cool. Okay, yeah, and at 83% positive. Stonefly! Oh, and the studio Flight School HQ is actually based by developers. This is one of those games that's remotely developed. So they have developers in Dallas, Texas, Hollywood, California, and Montreal, Quebec. So, next up,
Montreal.
Yes, Montreal. Wednesday, June 2nd. Do they not pronounce the T in Montreal? It's Montreal?
I wouldn't, because I speak English, but yeah.
True, probably. Yeah. Overboard, Wednesday, June 2nd.
Get Away with Murder. Highly replayable detective game where you're the where you're the one who done it. From the creators of 80 Days and Heaven's Vault. So yeah, my friend, I think who is also in the chat, he actually recommended me this game and we were talking about it for a bit. So you're the one that's I think you've done away with your husband and you've got to pin it on somebody else on the boat, basically.
Classic Titanic story.
Yes.
He died on a door saving me.
So it's like and I said,
and he loved me a lot.
So this is kind of a game that I would kind of like to play, but also I'm very bad at lying, and it's like, so I'm not sure which kind of like thing I would pick to make a very convincing lie. I think I'll be quite bad at this game, so I'm not sure if I would have a good time with it, so I'd probably be losing all the time. But yeah, I do like that kind of like sneakiness of yeah, I did it. You don't know it was me. I'm gonna pin it on you. So yeah, that's I do like that.
It's like a single-player Last of Us, except you don't have to deceive real people. There's like a multi-choice, so it's like easy mode, kind of. I love that in Last of Us, where it's like, it was me all along. You never suspected. But yes, it's such a cool concept for a whodunit game.
I like the UI. I like the colors. I like it.
Tom says, what if Rhodey's saying she's bad at lying is a lie and she's actually a pro?
Oh. If you don't think that you could get away with killing your husband in real life, don't even bother buying this game.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
you just don't have the gut.
This surprised me of like the developers of this game, because their last game was like such a serious game, like Heaven's Vault, and I played 80 Days as well. And again, that's although it's done very nicely, it's still quite a serious game, because you've got to, because all these really terrible things happen to you on your journey. So I'm surprised they've moved on to this quite light-hearted, sort of tongue-in-cheek kind of game. I do like it.
Sometimes developers need a break from being somber, so
that's true.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're all sitting there like, can we please do something hilarious next?
But yeah, it looks fantastic. Really cool concept. I'm probably going to add this to my wish list. And so they say that it's a playthrough is about 40 minutes, but it in order to get the perfect crime, you might take some multiple playthroughs. Because, of course, you have to get to know all the different characters, what works on different characters. Where is this? There was a line here that I thought was very funny. Oh, where is it? It was... Okay, bingo. So, blackmail a spy, fall in love, murder a rival, cheat at cards, drug a witness, lie, befriend, betray, console, sneak, seduce, steal, borrow, prey, eavesdrop, or kill. There's multiple things you can do to make this crime perfect. So there's all these different like branching narratives. So I could imagine, even though it's about a 40-minute playthrough once, I'm seeing a lot of people with between 4 and 6 hours. So, yeah, it's quite neat.
It is 15% off right now at £9.68, and it's standing at 94% positive with 70 user reviews.
That's $12.74 USD. But yeah, by Inkle Limited, which is a pretty perennial game developer. Next up is Why Pizza.
Baba is you meet getting over it to deliver the best pizza and try not to get bankrupt.
Wait, so is this just a developer just randomly mentioning 2 other games? Yeah, they did not make Getting Over It or Baba Is You.
No, yeah, but they're saying it is like that.
Yeah.
They're saying that this game is like that.
Yeah, it's
let us say that. Don't put that in the description.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty gutsy to do that. Like, oh yeah, we're like this other game. It's like our game is basically Call of Duty with cats. No, that actually works. Okay. Our game is basically Zelda. Well, no, you can say Zelda with cats for everything. Okay. Our game is basically Call of Duty and Zelda mixed together. Now that's a problem. But if you do like our game is Zelda with cats, that's okay. You sold me. That's okay. But
and we called it Puss in Boots.
Yeah, Puss in Boots. Yes.
So the publisher Woofu Games has mainly published Marginal Act games. I think they're all Marginal Act games, to be honest. And we've covered a couple of their games, and their games are absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah, they're all very weird. And I'm just trying to understand how this is like Baba Is You. Yeah.
Because I can see it like being Get Over It. I can see that. This is actually one of their more coherent games.
I can kind of tell what it is, whereas their other games, like, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck telling what this game is. So, well, anyhow, Marginal Act is definitely sticks to their name. They just keep making games just so bizarre. Okay, but yeah, why pizza? I it's hard for me to have an opinion on this game or any of Marginal Act's games because they're just so weird. But it is $13.29. Who knows if it's worth $13.29? There's only one review, so you don't really know how long it is.
They know.
It's 30% off at £10.14. But yeah, it's I can see it being a bit like Get Over It, but not quite, because it seems it's a bit easier, I guess, because you don't have that horrible thing of going back to the beginning. You know, that risk of going all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, that was like the whole point of Getting Over It.
Yeah.
I guess there's a narrative in this game, so... Well, there was a narrative in Getting Over It, but kind of. But there's more of a narrative in this game. But that said, it's a Marginal Act narrative, so is the narrative going to make any sense? I don't know.
I feel like this game, because you can see, like, there's a hand, like, pointing, and you also can be a platform for the hand. I feel like this would be better on, like, an iPad or something, or on your phone, rather than on Steam.
Yeah, maybe. It does actually it does seem like a mobile game. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so that is Why Pizza. I am terribly confused about it. Next up is Sludge Life.
Sludge Life is a first-person, open-world, vandalism-centric stroll through a polluted island full of cranky idiots and a vibe so thick you can taste it.
A vibe so thick.
Yep.
Oh, there's I've just seen a shot with a cat. It's got its tail up. It looks like it has 2 butts. Sorry. One of the screenshots. Sorry.
I think it does have 2 butts. I think that was intentional.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's a cat with 2 butts, so you have to buy it.
I guess
Sold.
so, yeah. So it has a sort of a, it's like, it has that sort of graphical, yeah, that cat does have two butts, it's weird. There's this graphical situation going on here, kind of like a short walk.
Yeah.
It has that sort of like filter over 3D, and then you're just in a bathroom. And then there's fly people.
Toilet.
I think this kind of reminds me of Jalopy. What is it called?
Oh, jalopy, yeah.
Jalopy,
It was
yeah.
like the one where you had to. The graphics definitely seem like it.
Mm-hmm.
The colors
It seems-
and all that stuff.
This seems like the gameplay seems a bit like jazz punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
The cat with two butts smokes also. So this Terri Vellmann is one of the developers, and they've made Disc Room. Okay, we talked about Disc Room. And High Hell.
Is this
and
is
Heavy
this
Bullets.
not on? It's not on Devolver Digital site. No, it isn't. Okay.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's published by Devolver Digital, and Doseone made the same game. So, Doseone and Terri Vellmann might be two people that work together multiple times. I don't know. I wasn't able to do a ton of research on them, but it looks neat. I don't know if it's my sort of aesthetic, the whole like sort of polluted area, grunge feel. I don't know. I like the whole like running around in nature kind of thing. Urban settings just aren't as interesting to me, but it does the sort of wacky and wild. They clearly have that in spades. So if you're looking for a really strange game with a possibly good soundtrack because they're selling it, Sludge Life.
Let me read the features. Experience the thrills of vandalism from the safety of your computer. Curiosity and free will are your only motivators. Roll as you please. Find and download apps on your laptop and waste your life away playing a game in a game. Smoke ciggy cigs, brand cigarettes, smoke them up real good. Take photos of exotic fauna and ambivalent NPCs. Dedicated fart button. A huge baby community basketball court, and a cat with two buttholes. No extra charge. 3 distinct endings and a pretty robust credit. And then someone put in the reviews, I just sharted my pants. So maybe that's what the dedicated fart button does. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
God, the sweep is like, nope, never mind, not into this.
Yeah.
So when I played jazz punk, I was quite excited because I do like urban environments. I like finding all these like little streets and little secrets and all the interesting characters as well. However, it felt like because it just went on far too long, and I hope this game doesn't kind of fall into that trap of just like overstaying its welcome. It needs to be kind of like punchy and sort of fast, and there are all these like nice little secrets that you can find.
So it looks like you can 100% it within 3.9 hours. So
nice.
Wow.
It is 15% off right now, and it's £10.61, and it's standing at 95% positive with 67 user reviews.
Yeah. $12.74 USD. Yeah. Yep. So it's well reviewed. It's a bit expensive for 4 hours to 100%, but I mean it has a neat aesthetic. I'm just not so into the theme or the I definitely know a lot of people who would be into this though.
I've put it on my wish list, but I'm gonna definitely wait until there's it comes down in price, because if it's like a more edited like jazz punk kind of game, I think I'd have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Okay, next up from Thursday, June 3rd, we have Astalon Tears of Earth.
Uphold your pact with the Titan of Death. Epimetheus.
Oh, Epimetheus?
Sorry. Epimetheus, thank you. Fight, climb, and solve your way through a twisted tower as 3 unique adventurers on a mission to save their village from impending doom.
Mm-hmm.
This
It's one of those games where the characters have the same eye color as their clothes.
Yes, it is. It is very
God intended.
retro Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like retro inspired. I don't know, it looks pretty good. It looks like there's a lot, a lot going on in it. I quite like it.
Ooh.
Is this in one of your guys' wheelhouse? I know you play a lot of Metroidvania type games.
I play a lot of Metroidvanias, and I never finish any Metroidvania except Tales of Elysium. I did finish that one. That was quite good, but that one also had a very thorough narrative through the whole thing. That really helps me finish Metroidvanias.
Yeah,
a lot
the
of
Tales games all have
tracking,
really
yeah.
good stories, I think.
Yeah. So this one, Astalon, it looks quite fun, aggressively retro, but looks really nice. Got some neat cutscenes going on. So yeah, I think any Metroid fan would be remiss not to consider it. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, not my kind of game, but I do like the characters. The characters seem kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm particularly interested in this mage guy, the brown or orange colored one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the white hair. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I like his move. He rains all these meteors down on people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
It is £15.49, and it is 92% positive with 39 user reviews.
$19.99 USD. I would probably wait until it goes on sale, but that's still not a particularly unfair price for a Metroidvania, provided it's good and well designed. And I'm seeing like lots of positive reviews and well over 20 hours. So
it's worth it.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I don't begrudge them their price point.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder how developers make any money at all, because like they're
Sometimes.
playing about $20.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like if you went, I don't know, bowling or something, it's going to cost you $10 a head. So
Exactly. Yeah. There's just some interesting things. The main thing is just that you're just on a marketplace with so many competitors. Yeah.
Very high supply.
High supply. Yeah. Next up is the Magnificent Trufflepigs.
The Magnificent Trufflepigs is a first-person romantic metal detecting game. It combines laid-back detecting and exploration with a strong narrative, all set in a beautiful English countryside. It's a game about trying to find something.
Romantic metal detecting game. I don't believe I've heard those tags together before.
My goodness. And also the worrying thing, I'm going to bring this up first, it's standing at mixed reviews with 58% user reviews with 43 users. And the main thing is, like, there's not enough to do in it because people are expecting sort of like a Firewatch game.
I was getting Firewatch mood immediately when I saw the trailer.
Yeah. I think they've done kind of like a bad trailer because it's like there seems to be like not as much to do. It's very much a walking sim.
Yeah. I assume this is more of a Zen game. Like you just go around, just scan every field to see what you can find. That's what I assume this is. It's not a...
Some of the reviews I've been seeing, like they say that exact thing, and they're like, I expected it to be like this meditative practice, and it just ended up being boring.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, you're just walking around. Instead of like, I'm not sure if the items are in specific places around the world, or if you just need to spend hours metal detecting until a plot happens. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like I will stand here and walk around for 15 minutes, and then plot will happen.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's either that, or it's there's something that you need to find, and it's underground, and you have to go find it, which could be worse. So.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame there's something in this game that's not quite
Clicking.
they've not quite worked very well.
Yeah.
I love the environments though. Like if this did have the like perfectly satisfying Zen experience kind of thing going on, I would be really into this because I love the environment. It seems like a good relaxing type game, but if it all depends on the pacing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the features is meditatively exploring a peaceful English farm, finding treasures, mostly rubbish, with your detector, digging them up with a large shovel and a small trowel, sharing photos of your finds with Beth, relationship building, chatting with Beth via walkie-talkie and instant message, unraveling a mystery through interesting narrative choices, learning about Beth's hopes and fears, directing the conversation to root out the truth. Starring Arthur Duvall, Doctor Who, DC Legends of Tomorrow as Adam, Lucy Fish, Safe House, Another Eden as Beth. From the lead designer of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, AMC Games, and Sundance TV, the magnificent Trufflepigs. So, yeah.
Calling it, she murdered her dad and buried him in the backyard.
He says the story is it's summer in the idyllic northern English village of Stanning. Beth is a successful 20-something who's poised to become the CEO of the biggest company in the valley. On the cusp of settling down, maybe having a couple of kids. Life seems so straightforward, but something's missing. Many years ago, Beth found an earring while metal detecting on a local farm. It brought her brief fame and a modest sum of cash for a preteen, but most importantly, it made her feel special. But she never found the earrings match. Now the old farm is only a week away from being demolished, so an energy company can turn it into a solar farm. Beth decides this is her last chance to rekindle that childhood sense of adventure. There's too much ground to cover by herself, so despite warnings from her friends, she's hatched a plan to invite Adam back into her life. Beth's search for the long-lost earring will unearth much more than she's bargained for. Interesting.
Can you imagine being in your 20s and a millionaire CEO of a company and then going, I'd really like to find that earring.
Yeah, the fact that we're looking for an earring.
It already seems disenfranchised, so I don't know what the storyline is supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the character for what's being done here, I feel like the sort of characters you're now involved with are just like there seems like their life's all together. Is this just going to be like a long list of horrible things?
Like they're demolishing a farm, so I want to find this earring because I miss being a child. I'm like, okay, but you're 20 and a millionaire. So.
Yeah.
If this was like, I'd feel like it'd make more sense if she was like 60.
80.
Yeah, or 80 or something like 50 or
like
60.
You were, like if it was your grandmother and you were looking for this earring or something, and then you could have a really cool story built out of that.
And then you run into like, I don't know, if you want to make it a romantic story, there's always other characters you can introduce or whatever. But I don't know.
I mean,
story seems
odd.
odd.
Try it, but the reviews don't seem to.
It's. I know for me, there's something because there's what you said. There's something not quite right about that. It's like you have all these good things going for you, and then there's this. It's like, but I want to find this earring. It's just.
Is the earring like part of the crown jewels or something? Like, what is the earring? Why did it bring her fame? Is it like is it like the crown jewels, or is it like a Bronze Age earring or something? Could be
something like that.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's. I feel there's something other going on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. I might play this at some point. I'm definitely putting it on my wish list because I'm a sucker for punishment and will pick up like really kind of like go, oh, let me try this game. Yeah, it is boring. Everyone was right. Why didn't I listen to them?
The earring belongs to a murdered duchess and they never found her body.
and you find the body when you go to get the second one.
Yeah. I'm just trying to connect this to murder. You see, because like that's like clearly
That's
that's
just the only thing that makes sense.
yeah. Clearly, this has to be something. I don't know, just to keep the story interesting. Anyhow, but that is the magnificent Trufflepigs.
It's 10% off right now at £8.36.
$10.79 USD, which I don't think is terribly unfair. So
yeah, that's a good price.
Yeah, but you know, if it's super boring, maybe no price is worth it. But we shall see. Next up is the Slaughter Magdalene.
A short interlude from the world of the slaughter. Let's see. So, Canning Town, 1880. A narrowboat sits bound to the bank of the Thames. Inside, a painter stands at their easel, composing the figure of Mary Magdalene. The Slaughter Magdalene is a short interlude from the world of the slaughter, with a playtime of approximately 5 minutes. Enjoy a relaxing painting game with a gentle score. While a gentle score plays.
So I don't know what the slaughter is.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a sequel, or as it says, an interlude of. It's a point and click adventure. It's set in Victorian London, laced with adult themes, a dark humour. Follow the trail of a killer through atmospheric London locations and surreal dream worlds, meeting a cast of interesting, insane, and eccentrically British characters along the way. So yeah, people are waiting for Act 2 of the Slaughter, and while they're waiting, this game has been put in there.
And it's been 5.5 years.
Yeah.
They're like, here, have a 5-minute painting game. It's free.
Yeah. So I appreciate that people that are waiting for Act 2, it's kind of letting them know, look, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on this game.
I think this game is probably just a marketing tool.
Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah. Probably.
But it is a free game, and if you want to buy the Slaughter Act 1, that is 50% off right now at £2.49.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I have the. I can't remember if I bought the Slaughter or. Yeah, it is in my library, so that's one I still have to play. But I think I was waiting to play it when Act 2 is out, so at least I know it's kind of like it's in the background somewhere. They're still tinkering away at it, so eventually I will probably pick it up.
So then you'll play Act 1 and Act 2, and then there's going to be an Act 3, and then you're going to be waiting 5.5 years.
I'm gonna see if that's the case, because I can wait. I've got plenty in my list of games to play.
Yeah. I would have been shocked if you didn't own the Slaughter, if it, with it being that cheap. I was just like, this seems like a roadie game. She has this. She has to have this already.
She's cheap. She'll have it.
Exactly. She's cheap, and she's into this type of game. She totally already has this. Rude. Yes. But yeah, it's free. So, and it looks like all the reviews are positive so far. But, I mean, unless it's like, I will never forgive you for taking away half an hour of my life, I don't see how this will end up having a negative review.
There have been a few of those.
There have been some games, definitely. Next up is Until We Die.
Until We Die is a side-scrolling strategy game about defending your base, where you have to run around as Ivan, assign tasks to people, and fight mutants in the post-apocalyptic subway.
Ooh, so this is giving me some Metro 2033 vibes. 2033. Oh, so I wonder if this is kind of like Kingdom. The Kingdom game, inside it's all on like a kind of sideways thing going on, and you're building up a base and you have to defend yourself from the hordes.
Oh, nice.
The day marker at the top of this, day 19.
Ooh.
I do like the way it looks. I do like the kind of artwork and the characters, and I like the way things look when you're building something. It gets so chaotic. And I do like the Are you picking up when you pick out a group of people or something? You look at their files or something, and you've got their files. It's
they each have a story. That's cool.
And a perk, and I do like that.
Yeah, I do like the pixel art. It's of so this is a sort of pixel art where it's kind of like there's like extra shading and smoothing out. So it's not like this isn't straight up pixel art. It's rounded and stuff, but it's at this point where it's like, okay, this still looks really nice. It still evokes a lot of. It's in my cozy place as far as pixel art goes. It's still in there. They could go further from this and make it look kind of. There's another game that I'm trying to think of that it just looks less aesthetically pleasing. This has just fantastic shading. It feels right. It looks great. So I'm very happy with it. Pixeye Games, what else have they made? Oh, this is their only game. Their aesthetic just reminds me so much of another game, and but no, I guess not. This is their only game on Steam. But yeah, it looks great. Also, let me see. There's some negative reviews. So they're saying that it's like, some are saying that it's not ready.
Interesting.
But it does seem to be mostly positive.
Yeah, there seems to be a problem with this saving the game as well. There's still a few issues. And there's some like frustrations. So yeah, hopefully the dev will fix those issues.
Well, there was a hotfix on June 3rd, which is the same day. So they did do a hotfix. So hopefully they'll continue to fix issues if there continue to be.
Yeah. This says, and there's a lot to do. Building fortifications, researching technology to build even stronger fortifications and defend more effectively, sending expeditions to the surface, attacking mutant lairs to secure new land for farms and tents, gathering supplies from crates, and extracting food from mushrooms and anything else that looks edible. Wasn't there a fat rat running down the tracks?
That's some good humor.
This one negative review here says, overall game is cute and campy, but very, very short. They have 13 hours in the game.
Very, very short. Okay. Their idea of very, very short is very different from mine.
Yeah, and other people here finish the game on normal, and here's my review, and they have 15 hours.
Right.
That's not bad, especially at the price point. It's $15.29.
Yeah, 10% off right now at £12.14, and it's standing at 73% positive with 682 user reviews.
They are saying that this Husk person who just said that the game is very short. He also says it's assuredly still in early access, no save feature, obvious room for a third unreleased character, and signal map scenario. So, yeah, I don't know what you think a short game is, but if you played it for 13 hours, that's probably worth your money.
All right, so I'm thinking Kingdom 2 Crowns. Let's go look at this game. How long is this? This is the closest thing I'm familiar with. This one, people are completing it in 20 hours. Some people play up to 66 or more. You can play this game for quite a long time. But I mean, it's still in the ballpark of people who finished that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering if it was a genre expectation. For example, if you make a game that's like Age of Empires, people are going to expect a longer amount of playtime from that. But this doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, until we die. All right. It is $15.29 USD, and it's mostly positive. But there are read the negative reviews before you buy. It would be great if they had a demo, though. Although it is a very short game.
Yeah, it feels like it would be a good game, and I want it, but I'm kind of a little bit curious as to what these bugs might be. Or that it is actually in early access, and the devs just haven't said that.
Yeah. Maybe they're planning to do more content in the future.
Because they could potentially just release the game and then just leave it, right? Move on to the next game. Yeah. And if this one is unfinished and they're doing that, they're moving on to their next game. That's not good.
Oh, They even had a small update on June 5th where they're fixing more issues. Yeah, they've been fixing. They fixed also on the June 5th, so they've been keeping up on it, fixing bugs. So that's cool to see. Hopefully if there is like obviously missing content, they end up adding it, but we shall see. I'll keep an eye on it.
I think this one would be worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, glad you like the look of it. It is Until We Die, so it's like a Metro 2033 version of Kingdom Two Crowns, I guess. So kind of similar to that. All right, next up is Slipways.
Hold on, Slipways. There we go. We've isolated planets into a vast trade empire. Hatch plans, research game-breaking technologies. Still be done in time for lunch. Enjoy the endless possibilities of a space grand strategy game in 60 minutes flat.
Ooh, they're promising a 60-minute grand strategy game.
Nice.
Wait a second.
Do you like it?
It's $17, so you must be able to play like it must be like match based then. A single run. Okay, they're saying a single run takes 40 to 60 minutes until they're all filled with the good stuff. All right, so it's like a run. When a single run takes no more than an hour, what you need is replayability. Almost everything in Slipways is procedurally generated, and each sector of the galaxy offers wildly different challenges. To overcome these challenges, you'll enlist the help of the 5 races populating the Empire. Each has their own philosophical outlook, varied abilities, and a dedicated slice of the technology tree. There are more than 80 technologies to choose from, and you'll only be using about 10 of them each run. No 2 games will ever be alike. Okay, but what is the reason to keep doing multiple runs? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. It has this sort of like roguelite potential, but I'm just wondering, like, why would I continue after the first run?
I suppose you're playing against an AI or something, like it's a strategy game. Colonize planets, carefully pick industries, and hook everything up so that your planets support each other. Line everything up just right and watch your colonies evolve and grow, giving you even more options for profitable trade. Make long-term plans and bask in your own glory when that one last connection makes 6 planets upgrade at the same time and gives you the income you desperately need. There is no military aspect to pull your focus away from the economy. The game is more relaxed than your typical grand strategy. It's all about exploring space and its endless opportunities, shaping it to your whim and developing it to its full potential. No need for war with so much empty universe to claim.
I'm a bit confused about this game, but it seems like something that I would play. I played Stellaris, and I think that they're specifically maybe backhanding Stellaris when they're talking about their game. But Stellaris was this, but you also had like the StarCraft-esque real-time strategy aspect to it, where you did have spaceships and fleets and stuff, and you could get attacked. So yeah, I'm with Dewey. Like, I don't know why you would keep playing multiple runs. I don't know if maybe you're like, these are all different galaxies and you're accumulating
what's the progression
time or something? Like what kind of
I
progression is there? Why is the game only lasting 60 minutes?
See, I would understand if it was like, perpetual, if it was just kept going on, because then you could expand like to the whole galaxy and then the whole universe sort of thing. You know what I mean? And you're just got to make those right connections. Whereas if it's like, okay, you've got like just 60 minutes, and then it's like, okay, now start all over again, and it's like, I don't but I did like a really nice thing. I got it all nice. Like,
I, without playing it and without really any sort of explanation for this game, I feel like it might be every new playthrough is a different galaxy, and you're just doing them one at a time.
So one thing I am seeing is, so each of these runs, I think they're missions. So like the missions might be 40 to 60 minutes. And then if you see this map of the galaxy, there's 14 of them.
Right.
So I wonder if that's the case. Because like, so we have Fate of the Forebears. So you might have like, there might be a story progression going on. But yeah, I'm just not sure. But this is the issue with some of these like 4X games. It's just like you have to really read into them to know what the game's like.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of interested because I like games that maybe don't have combat in them, and it's just like I do like the connections that you make, and you got to do the trading, and you've got to make sure the planet is getting what it needs and everything like that, and it to help it prosper. So that's why you're making all those connections to that planet. So it's like I'm very interested, but at the same time, I'm like, after 60 minutes, will I just like go, yeah, that was great. I don't want to pick that up again though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure if it's exactly for me either. It is standing at. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. Every time I click my push to talk button, it goes back a page.
Oh.
Unless I change the window. Yeah, someone there was saying it was kind of like I've lost it now, but it was like a challenging puzzle, high score type game.
Right.
So maybe you're trying to get a high score each time, and where it's procedurally generated, not every playthrough could even potentially give you that high score.
Right.
I don't know if I care for that either.
Yeah.
It is standing at 95% positive with 283 user reviews, and it is $13.99.
A demo with a single scenario, and then of course like just a better outline of what additional scenarios are, would probably be a better way to advertise this game. Because I feel like a game like this, since it is match-based, it would be very easy to make a demo to kind of demonstrate that, and then sort of, get people to go like, oh, hey, give us money. It would make it an easier sell.
Yeah, like I'm interested in this, but I don't feel like it's been marketed in a way that I understand what the game is. Somebody in the review there said if you like Stellaris, if you were interested in Stellaris, but it was too challenging for you, this would be a good game. Because this one doesn't have the combat and it's not timed or anything like that. So
yeah,
like maybe
so it's more
I
of a
think I'd enjoy this, but I have no idea from this page what it does or what the game is supposed to be.
You gonna put it on your wish list?
Maybe. Yeah, I think I will.
Okie doke.
Yeah, I think yeah, possibly wait until there's a sale for sure.
Yeah.
I wish they were more clear again about what your motivation is.
It is 95% positive, and it is $16.99 USD. All right, next up, Friday, June 4th. Come on, there we go. Is Chained.
Help Cole take revenge on the AI program named Scout and the company that put him out of a job. Solve puzzles, hack accounts, and stop the field of cyber security from being taken over by an evolving AI system.
Troglodyte now!
Scout is a character in Murder by Numbers as well, so I was like, hey, Scout, and it looks a bit like him as well. The robot looks kind of like him as well, so that's kind of weird.
Interesting. So Studio Digital Caffeine, no, it's its own studio, so maybe they just happen to
be inspired by.
Inspired by, I don't know, yeah. Happen to give the same name or whatever. How interesting.
I'll start with some small accounts and skim just a little.
But this is like kind of an interesting game for me. It's like there's this you've got this hacking element to it. You've got also manage your cash as well, manage your money, and there's also like a story going on as well. The that you speak to people. I don't know if that's just cutscenes or something, or if you're actually interacting with people. So yeah, it's all pretty interesting to me. There's a lot of boxes that are being ticked.
I don't know if this is a game that I would play, but I'm liking the color palette that they've chosen. There's something about the art that I like.
Yeah. There is just a nice artwork. The actual like gameplay though, it's some sort of puzzle thing, and I'm not sure if it's like a mathematic game or I don't know. I'll have to like read up on it. I'm sure. Let's see. Hopefully there's a tutorial, but there are no reviews.
A unique puzzle-solving experience backed by the story of Cole as he seeks to exact revenge on the program and company that destroyed his career in cybersecurity. Puzzles involve rapidly linking chains of numbers to bypass security measures and steal money a little at a time. As the AI scout learns more tricks, you'll soon unlock some of your own to fight back with. Featuring a fully voiced acted story and fast-paced puzzle mechanic, Chained will challenge your dexterity and assumption of what vengeance can cost.
That's cool. Yeah, I like in theory, I like the game, but I don't think that I would play it.
Yeah. The story is piquing my interest, but
something about it is piquing my interest. I like the art. I like the premise, but I don't want to play another pixel art mini game.
Yeah, it does seem like very mini game.
I put it on my wishes, and then I heard like what the mechanics are for the game, and I'm just like, nope. It's those, as you said, like that kind of mini game. It's just not something that I think I'd just be frustrated, especially if it's something that you need speed and dexterity for, something I don't really have.
I feel like if it was Minesweeper, I would be really into this. As a Minesweeper with a story, I would play that. Okay.
But it is 10% off right now. We're at £3.59, but there's no user reviews, unfortunately.
$4.49 USD.
Yeah, it's very affordable.
Very affordable,
I think. Yeah, I have no context for how long the game might be, but it's a good price.
Yep. Especially with like full voice acting. That's pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So, next up is Astro Aqua Kitty.
The Aqua Kitty Cats have launched into space in an all-new action RPG shoot-'em-up adventure. Pick your crew, blast off to investigate mysterious water-filled asteroids, and watch out for marauding pirate rabbits.
So you're basically just a spaceship. So the whole thing of like them being cats, I feel like, is just straight up brutal marketing. Brutal capitalist marketing. It's like, ooh, internet likes cats. All the characters are cats now. I mean, it's smart. It works.
Is this a small developer or?
Tikipod. Let me see. What else have they done? They also developed Rockbosher's DX Director's Cut, which is like a brick breaking game. Very retro. And they also did
another Aqua Kitty game called Milk Mine Defender. Okay.
Okay, so they have like a series of these Aqua Kitty games. Okay.
Yeah. I think it looks kind of cute. I do like the pixel art. I like the avatar pictures as well, the cartoonish avatar pictures. It's got quite a nice UI.
I like the cartoonish avatar pictures, but I really wish that developers would start planning, like the art departments for these would start planning together. Like if your characters are cartoony, should the game look like this retro thing? It's really jarring for me. I really like the cartoons art style, but I don't like the other one.
Yeah.
It was like the last game, I really liked the art that they had chosen for the characters, but I didn't like the pixel art.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wish I wish they did the artwork like Battle Chef, because that was like cartoony, but like the animation was like really fantastic for it. So like with those
Oh, I
cartoony
remember Battle
avatars.
Chef. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that seemed cohesive. This does not
Yeah.
seem cohesive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is £11.39. There are only 9 user reviews currently.
$14.99 USD. And our final game of the release list is Mighty Goose.
Mighty Goose is a fast-paced run-and-gun shooter starring a bounty hunter Goose. Use epic weapons and devastating war machines to battle against screen-filling bosses and hordes of enemies.
Okay, this looks potentially very fun.
Yeah. I'm not into this kind of game, but I am enjoying this one.
Yeah. It just looks like sort of mayhem. Kind of reminds me of that, what's that? Amera Bros? Or what is that one? Like, it's like... Oh, what's that called? No.
No.
Battle
Oh,
Brothers. No, I don't remember what it is.
it's evaporated.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do like the way it looks, and I agree with the both of you that it's not my kind of game, so it's not something I pick up. I do like in the last screenshot the goose. You can clearly see the goose in this like armored like mech driver thing, and it's just like he's got his little goggles on top of his head, and it's so fantastic. But yeah, it looks really great.
Yeah, this one looks really great.
Yeah.
It's sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I feel like this game would look really fantastic on the big screen, like sitting back on your couch, playing with a controller, and playing this on a big screen. I think that it would shine the most there, because there is like a lot of sort of flashing going on and stuff, and it's like, I don't want to play this like sitting down at my computer desk, but on my couch, definitely would like to play this. So, yeah, it looks cute.
It's 86% positive with 134 user reviews. It is £15.49. I have to say that the releases this week, there's only been a few that have put in discounts. Not many of the games this week have put in the release discounts, which I find really strange, because that is normal. That is usually what we see. It's like give it like a 10% discount or 15% discount.
It could be that there's been some data or like some research just to find that doesn't help. Like maybe discounting it on launch just means that your sales later don't do as well or something. I don't know. It could be that it's just that trend is going away, but we shall see. We shall see if it continues up next week, I guess. I love the soundtrack of this game. So it's developed by Blastmode, which also only made Mighty Goose, and MP2 Games, which also only has Mighty Goose. But yeah, it is very positive and $20.
Yeah. There's this really large Indie Live Expo 2021 sale banner across the top of the screen on this page, and the game's not on sale.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It just links you to all the indie games up for sale, which...
Oh, The Good Life is on there, which hasn't been released yet, so...
Oh, so it's like a pre-order? Interesting.
Some of them are coming soon, so... A lot of them are coming soon.
Oh, they're
so,
not pre-orders, they're just saying, like, wishlist it, that's coming soon.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Alright. Well, that's cool. Well, with that wraps up our release list. So now the question is, of course, the really difficult question: what's the best of the week?
What's the very best?
Very best.
Shall I go first?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, Chi. Hi, Chi. No worries that you're late. You'll get to hear which are the best ones that we've picked for the week. So usually I go with like something from the catch-up and then something from this week. However, nothing has really caught my eye on the catch-up list. There are only 3 games, so it's not really a surprise really. However, so this week I think Overboard for me. I'm going to pick 2 games. I'm going to pick Overboard, absolutely for sure. Although it is one of those things where would I get kind of despondent with, like, you know, obviously reaching a fail state and having to like play it again. And also, if you are playing it or over again, like, is there any bits that you can skip? Like with other kind of like that visual novel aspect to it. But yeah, I like the premise. I like the way it looks. It seems a bit, you know, there's that kind of sense of humor in it, and of course, you know, pinning murder on someone else, you know, that's always funny. And then my second game is Sludge Life. So it just seems like jazz punk-esque kind of chaos, is interesting characters, and I'm just like, and I like those kind of like finding secrets and just like picking up things, and randomly it's like, oh, I can interact with this thing, I can do this, and of course there's a fart button which eventually looks like you can shart yourself, so why not? And then there's a cat with 2 butts for some reason.
The second butt is free.
Yes.
Second butt is free. Yep.
So yeah, those are my 2 random games for the week. What about you guys? What have you picked?
I also added Overboard to mine, and My Child Lebensborn. But the one that I'm really interested, if there was one on this list that I would buy today, Stonefly.
Stonefly, bingo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why, but something about it, like the atmosphere of it, the art of it, the colors, it's something about it is just really interesting for me, and it doesn't seem like it's that super short either. Looking at it again here, yeah, we've got like 4 hours to 6 hours.
I hope
I'll wait for it to come on sale.
Yeah, I really hope you do pick this up and play it, because it does seem like such an interesting game, and you know, there's different aspects to it as well. So I'm really curious about the story. I think it's definitely a game that I would definitely watch someone play. So, you know, you'll have to let us know if you do give it a go.
Yeah, it's suggesting me on that game AER Memories of Old. I don't know if you remember that, but it's like you fly around these floating islands as a bird.
Oh, yeah. I remember,
and it was really atmospheric and nice. And if it's anything like that, that suggestion is a good suggestion. I think I'd really like this one.
It's recommending Carto for me, which I did really like Carto. So that's kind of interesting. That's recommending that.
It's also reminding me of it's one of those older Ghibli movies, Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind.
Yeah.
I think, something about it, I'm just like, yeah, bugs, and tech versus plus bugs. Something's good about that. And I love glidey games.
Yeah.
And just the aesthetic, the fact that this developer has a way of doing things, and they also aren't afraid of experimenting. Like they're, of course, The Creature in the Well got fairly mixed reviews because it's like pinball, and it's kind of just a weird thing for an action game, the sort of pinball mechanic, and not everyone was into it. But they really do make quality games, even if they can be somewhat not everyone's cup of tea. I'm glad that they're really brave to do that. So. Yeah,
that's me.
Okay, my best of the week. So I agree with you. Stonefly is up there for me. It's on my wish list. I also liked My Child Lebensborn, but I think for the week for me, it is Operation Tango. Is my best of the week.
Yes.
Yeah, I put that on mine as well.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a great game for me to play with my brother. You know, we'll play through at least twice, each of us playing a different role. But it's it seems like it's a decently fun game. I'm probably gonna wait for a sale. But
Okay. When you purchase this and you decide to play it with your brother, you must stream it. I would love to see how you get on with this, and if there's like, what are you doing? Oh my god! That kind of moment.
I suppose it needs to be shared. Like if it, something like this, that probably needs to be shared.
Yes, sharing is caring, and you must share it with us.
Okay, so Dewey Gaming Streams will come back at the very least with Operation Tango then. So.
Yes.
And you might get to see my brother too, who looks nothing like me, so you might have a hard time believing that he's my brother. But each one of us takes after one parent, and our parents don't look alike at all. So we've got we're brothers, but in Boy Scouts, no one thought we were siblings. So they thought we were friends. It was no, he's my little brother. What are you talking about?
My wife has a sibling like that. They look nothing alike.
Yeah.
But if you've seen their parents, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, they're definitely in the same family. Yeah. Yep.
Whereas me and my brother look like we're just gender swapped, and he's taller. That's basically, which I've heard from other people.
Yeah.
The Radio Tom has said, only one I wish listed this week was Astalon Tears of the Earth. Nice.
Oh, Astalon, that Metroidvania, that one looks fantastic as well. It's just that I have such a bad history with Metroidvanias. Not that the Metroidvanias are bad. It's just I'm bad at finishing them. And then when you come back to it, it's like, well, I gotta start over. I don't remember where I left off.
Yeah, I would never finish this game.
Yeah.
I like it in theory, but I would never, ever finish it.
Yeah. But that's cool. I'm glad that we were able to help you find Astalon Tears of the Earth. So if you do end up playing and enjoying it, please let us know. That's what we're here for. We're to let you know what games came out so you don't miss out on anything. Even though last week's games are going to be in the backlog for quite a while, we will eventually talk to them about them. So
I hope next week there aren't that many releases,
so we can
say let's just put loads of catch-up.
It was a few weeks ago where basically only 5 games came out in a week, and we're like, oh cool, we can do 10 backlog games or something.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get to do that again soon. So
we're getting so close. We're getting so close to finishing. I think we've got just end of August 31st, and then September and some of October, and that's it. Then we're done.
Yep.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Except for the half of them that we put on the back burner for this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's that.
Oh man.
There was this list times 2 for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Pretty much. So, with that, I just want to let everyone say, Rhodey, what are you doing this next week? Where can the internet find you and all that?
Oh well, I'm still writing up a lot of the curator page, which you can hopefully, if Dewey can link for us, and I will be back on here next week. Will I be streaming? I really want to get back into streaming, but fingers crossed I will get there eventually, and I will start streaming again. But I've been so tired. And Chi asked, will I see you again tonight, Rhodey? He's not talking about in the bedroom. No. He's talking about in Final Fantasy 11, where we'll be raiding.
Raiding? Oh, nice. Final Fantasy 11 raiding. Awesome.
No. He's saying no.
Shinchi Max is not your paramour. So, no.
My husband may have questions if I bring Rhodey to the bedroom. I see you in the bedroom tonight, though. Tom.
Oh, Tom. Tisk. All right. Topgunbunny, what about you?
Yeah. You can come find me in Grand Theft Auto, and please don't kill me. Just be friendly. Just wave. Just say hey.
Just wave. Say hi. Hello.
Say way. Hi.
Howdy. Hi.
And
Hi.
steal some of his stuff.
Yes.
I usually get so into a video game and then just drop it at some point. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen with this one, but I do have people that are playing it with me, so that might keep me interested in it.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just I'm staying up way too late. I'm tired every day because I'm just playing video games. So it's like I haven't felt that way about a video game in a little while. So I'm pretty excited about that.
It's good to have that kind of cycle every now and then. Just like kind of remind you, it's like, this was cool. Gives you stuff to talk about when you're not gaming. So
True.
But yep. And as far as me, and then once you're done with that, you can get into Red Dead Redemption Online.
Oh god. I was looking at it actually. I was playing it on Epic because it was free on Epic, and they have Red Dead Redemption on there right now for $55 or something like that. Like it's on sale, but it's still a pretty expensive game.
Yeah. Oh, 55 Canadian. That's right. I was like 55. That's like okay, 55 Canadian. Yeah, that's a pretty good discount.
I think it's like a $79.99 game.
Yeah, it's 60. It's $60 in the US. So, but yeah, cool, awesome. And as far as me, you can find me on Twitter at Podcast Steam, on YouTube at the Steam Release Podcast. Just search it with a top result, and of course right here on twitch.tv/DeweyBear, and of course to all of our Twitch chatters, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. And to YouTube, Auf Wiedersehen. See you next week.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe.
Yeah. And also subscribe.
Bye bye.
Maybe ring that bell.